So I just got back from holidays, and in my last video I mentioned that I'd cracked this old school GREDDY manifold, and I just thought I'd share it with you. It's not as cracked as badly as I thought. So there's a little crack there. If I can just put it in the light, I just heated it up so it's cooling off because I gave it a wash. But yeah, it looks like it's cracked previously and somebody's welded it. And I also think there's a crack under here. There's little tiny cracks everywhere. So just there's a little tiny crack. I'm gonna try and get the light right on this. There's a pointer. So it's actually cracked along there, which is not a big deal. It's just a weld, so should be able to re-weld that. Again, this one's got a crack in it, and I think one of these up this end. But you can have a look with a torch. Yeah, see. Sorry, I just got to get it so you guys can see. So see up the back there, see all that grossness? So that's actually under this piece, and I wonder if somehow it cracked up there, somebody re-welded it and then put this plate on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this plate off. So cut along there, grind it back, and then, because also there's this pinhole here as well, I need to sort of fill that in. I mean, I'm not a welder by trade. My stepson is a fabricator, but he's an apprentice. So I'm going to ask some people. But this is I reckon, for my opinion, the best sounding manifold on NON VVTi 1JZ. Now, this one we've actually. So originally it comes with a square flange gate, says GREDDY on the thing. I've got the piece that we chopped off there, but it sits down here. And this is for a soarer, okay? If it was for JZX90, this would actually come out this way, because guess what's just here? The steering arm, or the steering column essentially. So we're very lucky that we're able to chop this, put the Turbo Smart Gate flange on here and actually make it clear the steering arm. But I'll show you that in a sec. But for whatever reason, I didn't know any better. I always thought that this had come natively as a T3 flange manifold. And it turns out that it's actually a 3-bolt GREDDY flange, and they've chopped off the 3-bolt GREDDY flange and welded a T3 flange on top. They did it properly, they purged it, so that's good. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to die grind this bit out, because see here, this is where the normal GREDDY flange ends. Well, no, that's where the normal GREDDY flange. This is the old GREDDY flange anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to die grind out this bit around here. It's not structural. I mean, I'll stay away from this weld here and this weld here, because they help hold the T3 flange on. But look, I might even take that lip out of that edge there, because it all helps. Same with, so I put the gasket on and I've marked in Sharpie just here. So I can actually probably take that out there and give that a smooth transition. So I'm just going to try and smooth that out, because it's right before the exhaust housing, and you know, you want things to be smooth. Like, that's pretty fucking, you know, it hits a hard edge there. There's like a cavity underneath. So I'll probably just bring it back so that all that's nice and smooth. And yeah, the flow into the gate is nice and smooth. I'm not quite sure. Well, let's have a look. What's on this side? Yeah, okay. So what it is when they've welded this on, they didn't purge it, and that's what these bits of sugaring on the inside is. And I suspect that that up the middle would have been a crack. And then my existing crack, bit hard to see, but I think it's over here. So I'll get the die grinder in there if I can reach, and take off all these little dags, because they can break off and go through your turbo. But yeah, that's that. Oh, and one thing is, it's not equal length. So what makes this manifold so special is it goes 3 into 2 into 1, and they're not equal length runners by any means. So let's have a look. This one's probably the shortest, then this one's longer than that, and then this one's even longer than that. So it's and then again this one, oh yeah, this one's slightly longer than that one. Then this one, I would say slightly longer than that one, and then yeah, this one here is longer than that one. So it's almost like they progressively get longer. I do have the firing order written down. I think it's 1, 5, 3, 2, 4, 6, maybe. I can't quite remember. 1, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe it's that 1, 4, 3, 5, 6. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it does go one up this end, one up this end, one up this end, one up this end, one up this end. So it alternates. One up this end, one up this end, one up, yeah. But yeah, not equal length. So maybe the trick, and you can see here, is how it's sort of offset. I mean, maybe that's just to position the turbo, but I did see a few old Trust prototypes, and you could see they played around with the different lengths of pipes and how they had it positioned. But yeah, this manifold sounds amazing. If go into the rest of my playlist that this will be in, and there's some sounds of my car. Anything in the last 6 months will have it without the wastegate, and then the earlier ones will have the screamer, which, you know, you can't really hear the exhaust note so well because of the screamer. Not the biggest fan of having a screamer pipe, because I like the sound of the turbo. Oh god, so this bolt here has a pipe coming over it. That bolt there and this bolt here, right at the back, next to impossible to get off. It took me 2 hours, 2 hours to get it off, and I ended up making this special spanner with a cutout in the end and grinding off the top here, and that's how I got it out. So yeah, there you go. If you have trouble getting yours off, that's the width of a stud, and that's how I got it off. This is the dump pipe I made myself, and there's your wastegate down there. So it's a bit hard to see. Try and hold these two together, but the wastegate actually goes down, around, and then goes back into this, is how I did it. Let's see if I can get you guys. Yeah, see the flex just there? Actually, if I put that there, and I hold the torch here, so it goes out of the gate, and it does a loop around here, and then goes through the flex, and then goes down into the dump pipe. What can you guys see? You're under the car now. Sorry about that. We're under the car now. Nothing too exciting going on down here. But yeah, took me an hour to get the turbo off and then 2 hours to get those 2 bolts undone. I'll show you my turbo, I guess, while we've got it out. So this is, I'll go and take it over to the bench, we don't need the torch. So this is my turbo. It's an older GT3076. So it's got a cast wheel and this old style shroud. What makes the more modern turbos better is they have less, so they don't have the double blades, which makes them more efficient at higher boost pressure. So these spool slightly better than a GTX or maybe even a G30. I'm not quite sure. So for 500 horsepower or 450, this is almost the go, and it has a 10 blade turbine, but that also means that it'll choke up because the GTX and the G30 have a 9 blade turbine. So that also causes them to spool slower, but generally, as Mr. Zona Rotor says, the turbo will choke on the turbine before it chokes on the rear housing. So, I run a 0.63 rear housing, and for the street, it's got amazing response. And this turbo's maxed out. So I don't quite understand why you would run the 0.82 when this turbo is making as much power as it possibly can with a 0.63. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you can tell me how to make more than 450 horsepower with, is it going to make more with a 0.82? Don't know. There's a little bit of play in the bearings, and in fact, I had another core when I first bought this turbo, and I felt that play. I rang GCG and they says, "Oh, it's stuffed." Well, it's not stuffed because this was a brand new core 3 or 4 years ago, and it feels the same as the one that I replaced, which is actually running in my mate's car right now and is doing perfectly fine. So no in and out play. There's a little bit of sort of up and down play, but I mean, it's got no oil in there, and yeah, it doesn't make any noises. Spins amazing. Maybe not that amazing, but yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know. There's going to be plenty of experts jump in and say that the turbo's effed, but you actually cannot tell from somebody on the internet wiggling a turbo shaft like that the condition of the bearings in the turbo, can you? Or can you? Don't want to drop this thing off the bench, but if we put it upright, it spins a lot nicer. So yeah, there you go. Hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. That's my GREDDY manifold.